Welcome to the world of Manor Lords, this up-and-coming medieval strategy game that has been making waves in the gaming community since it was first announced just over 2 years ago, with its picturesque next-gen graphics, realistic and dynamic military combat, and historically authentic medieval city building and management. The last time I covered this game on the channel was at Steam Next Fest just over 6 months ago, where an alpha version of Manor Lords was made public for the first time, giving everyone a chance to experience a starter campaign of resource gathering, city building, and explore features, mechanics, and environments that we've only seen in videos and images so far. With over 300,000 players on the game in that one demo week alone, Manor Lords not only proved that it is a real game and that it can essentially get it done, but that it has such a massive following in the strategy community waiting eagerly for its initial release. In the last 6 months, the developers have been hard at work taking on board feedback from the public demo, going through rigorous internal testing, making improvements, and adding new features to the game. Today's video is all about this development progress and the latest news around the game, and there is a lot to cover, guys, so let's get started. The absolute buzz of the strategy game community, Manor Lords has been compared with Stronghold, Total War, Settlers, and others, creating a pretty large following because of the game's promise to deliver essentially overlapping strategic mechanics and features all at once. Resource gathering at its finest, and its balance with city building and population management of your kingdom, direct engagement and diplomacy with other nearby factions, villages, towns, trade centers, pushing the boundaries of technology, and of course, medieval warfare with intricately detailed customization and historical realism. When Manor Lords first came to Steam Next Fest, players were given the opportunity to play a limited alpha version of the game where you could gather specific resources over a handful of maps, build up a small commercial and farming village, and really get your hands stuck into the custom building placement features of the game. For me though, the best part was jumping into the first-person view of my character to mingle with the locals and really get a full hands-on experience of the beautiful landscape and the town I created. So since then, the development has been primarily focused on improving features that players found either too janky or that just didn't work. One such feature was the building of the manor and the bailey, one of the final buildings you'll get to. During the demo, you would first have to outline and build a bailey, and then build a manor house, a gate, and a tax office, but the size of the bailey was often too small, or certain terrain features would bug out the manor during placement. This system was pretty swiftly corrected and revamped, with a new castle planner in which the manor was placed first and the bailey and the gate then placed around it, which seems much more intuitive while still keeping a fair bit of customization. We've also had some nice previews of higher tier versions of buildings, so the castle and bailey now has a more fortified stone-based version that I just love the look of and gives us a taste of what higher tier buildings will look like. Churches come with a stone version as well in tier 2 that I think adds a lot of aesthetic to the village, and we've even got concept art for higher tier churches that I am super excited about. With 4 tiers planned, this shows some really nice development progress into what is essentially a small cathedral in the final tier. One particular complaint during the demo was that with a dwelling or house limited to 1 per plot, some villages could start looking like suburbs essentially, not very developed. While placement customization was unique, the variety was essentially very limited. So an improvement that has been made here is that dwellings will not only have the same treatment as other buildings in terms of higher tier stone-based houses that have some lovely design, by the way, but in addition to that, houses in general will have 2 per placed plot, which should lead to some really interesting city planning decisions. 2 families per plot will definitely have an impact on the rate of population growth and the economy, and aesthetically, things should move a little away from suburban-looking villages. And I think this could easily get expanded to 3 or even 4 dwellings per plot in future for more variety as well. From a warfare point of view, we've seen some nice sneak peeks into unit UI and unit cards in the last few months that I really like the look of. Obviously, all of this is very work in progress, so I'm sure many things will continue to change, but we really get a sense for specific weapon and armor resources here with the shields, polearms, crossbows, and other items, and the unit cards, and clearly there's some room to either raise troops or hire mercenaries here, which I think is really cool. We've got a nice indication of the styles and colors of armor and equipment as well, which looks really nice. And some of it comes to life in a short video here as well that I really like. Obviously, it's all early days, but kicking up of the dust and brilliant variety of uniforms and weaponry makes me really feel that sense of authentic historical warfare I'm waiting for. Over the last few months, we've also had a sneak preview of the development side of the technology tree, which I have to say looks really good. Split between what looks like farming at the top, hunting and gathering on the left, refining and blacksmithing at the bottom, and trade on the right, we can really get a sense for how specialized your playthrough and your villages can be. And this is just development. I mean, if the production and policy arms of technology have this kind of treatment as well, there's going to be a fair amount of replayability involved in Manor Lords. I am so very excited about this aspect of the game. Aside from the progress of game development and of course the improvement of various features from the demo and from feedback from players, there are other kind of cogs turning here and there that is quite interesting. For example, main dev Slavic Magic has been hiring freelancers for various pieces of work, including creature animation, rigging, and others. So the team is expanding, which can only mean a positive thing. The fact that reworks on higher tier buildings have been happening is a pretty good indication of the pace of development. And of course, lots has been discussed, especially on the Twitter, about changes to combat and warfare management as well, which is very exciting. The most impressive part for me though in the last 6 months is how much the developers have been listening to feedback and asking the community what they'd like to see and their opinions on certain changes. All of these improvements and updates are thanks to the hard work of developers who have been listening to the feedback of the gaming community and working tirelessly to make Manor Lords the best it can be. They've been working on the game for over 2 years, and their passion and dedication are evident in every aspect of the game, and especially in how they're handling their feedback from the community. The demo 6 months ago was a huge success, with over 300,000 players tuning in to play it even for a few hours, with no marketing behind it, and the reception has been overwhelmingly positive, so things can go only up from here. Obviously, let's manage our expectations. We don't have any sort of release date confirmed, but I think given the track record, the progress made, and the state of the demo, we have a lot to be hopeful for, and Manor Lords has a very bright future ahead of it. And that's going to be it for today, guys. You can wishlist the game on Steam right now and be notified when it's available. And with all the exciting updates and features we've seen in the last 6 months, Manor Lords is definitely shaping up to be one of the most anticipated strategy games of the year. And you can keep updated over on the Twitter account and on the Discord server, which I've linked below as well. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, leave a like and let me know your thoughts or questions in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you think about Manor Lords and all the latest news. Don't forget to subscribe for more strategy game content, gameplay, and news updates around Manor Lords. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.